Snackers, what have you been up to, man?
Nothing. Literally
That's
nothing.
Beautiful.
And I'll tell
That's
you,
wonderful.
it's because my tablet's dead. I've literally been doing nothing. I can't. Yeah.
Well, you know Tom's doing tablet giveaways. You could always get one from him.
Yeah, but I'm not an American, so I don't really get those.
Oh, well.
It's like US only. So I ordered a new one anyways already, and it's coming soon. So hopefully,
Which one did you get?
It's just an XP pen, sort of like slightly better than what I have thing. I don't even remember.
So you working on Duncan and Jones 4 yet, or what?
No, that's not even being made. But actually,
That's ever?
No. Well, I'm kind of done with Duncan and Jones. I kind of tweeted about that, but I'm done with it for now, personally. But Bishop and a few others they're working on kind of a little secret project sort of thing that looks really cool. It's like a little fan continuation sort of special episode. It's gonna be kind of cool. I'm like just supervising it pretty much. They're making it. I don't even. It's like a fan thing.
Damn. Well, who is Bishop? I've never seen nothing by them.
Cool artists. They I think they sort of ride it in on the Funkin' wave. The admin for the Funkin' Discord server. But I don't know how they found their way into the fucking Duncan and Jones server, but they did. And now, now they're working on a new thing. Literally, I don't know.
Who else is working on it?
Oh, let me see. I mean, I could just check. It's you got Xinxinix, I think, is hanging out. Arrowburger, I guess Pyrinator. It's all like Tony might do something. It's all just a bunch of random ass people kind of just getting together. But yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Awesome.
All right, I got a serious question though. Is Duncan and Jones, are they canonically gay for each other?
No.
Okay, my bad.
I say no, but who gives a shit what I say? It's do whatever the fuck you want with them. I don't care. You know.
What else we got going on Newgrounds? You see anything cool on Newgrounds lately? You ever did you play that game by Unlimited Trees?
Yeah, Unit
Tres.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
It's fucking awesome. I wish I played more of it. I've only played like I played like 2 levels really, and then I had to stop. But because like I couldn't get the gamepad to work with it or something, kind of broke. But I don't know. But what I played, it's fucking like I love the controls and the momentum and stuff, and the graphics are awesome. It's very charming. I think that guy's cool.
Yeah. I'm glad they just dropped their game off at Newgrounds like a child at daycare and
pretty much
properly. What about the Chutney Glaze sequel to every Among Us game ever?
I didn't click on that because it was probably fucking stupid. I love Chutney, but I'm sick of that. Fuck off, Chutney. I'm not watching that.
You're not watching it?
No, I don't.
I love Chutney. Fuck him.
I didn't watch it. I'm sure it's good. The first one was funny.
First one was funny. Oh, here's meatcanyon. Here he is.
Oh, the man himself.
The man himself. Papa meatcanyon. Hello.
Welcome to the Newgrounds podcast. Today's episode hosted by Xinxinix.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newgrounds podcast. I'm your host today, Xinxinix. We have a very special co-host. Snackers is here with me. Say hello, Snackers.
Hello.
All right. And then we have a very special meaty man in the building. He's a conglomerate of different types of meat. He's a shapeless dude. He does many voices, does many animations, and a lot of his creatures are also meaty as well. There's a lot of flesh in a lot of his animations. I don't know if anyone's ever put 2 and 2 together. Welcome to the studio, meatcanyon. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Wow. Thank you very much. It's exciting.
Yeah. How's it going today, man? Doing very well. I noticed on YouTube you literally just released like 4 hours ago or like 3 hours ago a new Minecraft parody video, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, we just watched that. It was good.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I think from your other podcasts, I noticed that you really don't play video games. And me and Snackers, well, I told Snackers that, and Snackers was like, "Oh yeah, he doesn't play any video games." And then we noticed you just did a video game parody, and Snackers was like, "He never does a video game parody."
Yeah, I was just like, this guy he's never made a video game parody. It was like all these TV shows and stuff.
I really don't. Yeah, I don't play video games too much. I was invited to this Minecraft server with other like YouTube people, and it kind of made me look at like the cult like following that Minecraft creators have. It's like it's very passionate, and it kind of made me that's what made me think. It's kind of what gave me the whole idea of it's borderline a new religion. Like it reminds me of like my grandmother, my Baptist grandmother, like and stuff, talking about Jesus and shit. And like I see these 16-year-old kids who are like literal gods, like amongst the world right now, getting like 650 fucking thousand active viewers on Twitch and stuff at a time playing Minecraft. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I just it was a stupid idea, and I was like, yeah, that'd be fun to make, type deal.
You just snowballed with it, which is funny because in Minecraft they build literal like pyres. You know what I mean? They build like their own little buildings and shit, and they're huge and colossal, like any religion would. And then people just worship it, and it's literally like a cult.
I built a lot of churches in my Minecraft worlds. I'll say for some reason churches are cool to build.
Yeah, I think it's just fun architecture. You know, it's always good. It's a fun time. But I just it's also just like this unabashed, like unapologetic, like love and following for like even not only the game but just like the creators that like do these videos and stuff. It's just like a blinding love. It's very strong. It's like
a really deep following. So before we start this up, I gotta interrupt everyone. I'm sorry, this is gonna be a little bit awkward, but I gotta apologize to Chutney Glaze real fast. It's in my contract. I recorded an hour and a half long episode with Chutney Glaze, and I said some things, and he said some things. I just want to apologize to Chutney Glaze for the things he said about his family. I didn't know calling his family Clementines was a racial slur in the orange community. I didn't know that Tangelo is frowned upon as well. I didn't mean to make fun of his head shape or his upbringing. When he brought up the things about his dad, I didn't mean to laugh as hard as I did. But
dude,
what? I'm serious. I'm really like. I'm sorry, Chutney Glaze. I got banned from his server. They held a vote, and I lost 107 votes to like 47, so they banned me.
You straight up ruined his family reunion, man. You didn't have
I just want to apologize. So if anyone's wondering what happened to the episode, it's just not allowed to be aired at all. And I also want to say I'm sorry for the 300 questions that we asked him that had nothing to do with the interview. Just like what were his favorite chips, what was his favorite sundae.
That's a normal episode.
I'd even download the audio, so it's lost forever. And I just want to bring that up. That I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Chutney. I apologize because he is my favorite animator, and he made me a T-shirt. So I love him very much. So yeah, now that we got that out of the way, Meat Canyon, man, you like to talk, man. You got a lot of podcasts. What's up with that?
I do. I do. I have no right. I have no right to talk as much as I do. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. It's a very odd. I feel like I talk a lot because at least with like social media bullshit, it's hard to put a name behind the cartoons and shit, so I try to like put my voice out there as much as I can without being an annoying, slut about it. So podcasts are a good way. It's an appropriate way for a fat Midwestern man to actively talk, and usually people don't mind too much.
Midwestern man, you are very Southern. Are you the only animator in the South like that? I don't understand. Like,
I hope that's true. I hope that's the honest truth. It's like we don't know no animation except for me. Yeah, I would
move.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
moving pictures. Oh my god!
I find the accent. I don't know where it even came from. I'm from Kearney, Missouri, which is like a little outside of Kansas City. But the older I get, or even like the drunker I get, the stronger the accent gets. So I'm at this point, I'm assuming that it's fake. I have no I have no real belief that it's that it's actually real in any regard. So
like it's not who you are.
my
That's
dad,
funny.
my dad sounds like a fucking Dukes of Hazzard
Oh,
character.
I feel
remember
that.
like when I was younger, when he was still married to my mother, he just sounded like a regular guy, and now he just sounds like fucking Boss Hog. Like I don't know exactly what the evolution of our accent is, but it's a plague. It certainly is a plague.
Yeah, it's like a possession. Like it just latches itself onto you, and you become something that you.
Yeah, that I'm
You have to
not.
become comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to be this, and then there,
Let's talk about your early beginnings, though.
Yeah.
When was the first time you started drawing? Was that like elementary school? You drew SpongeBob one time or something? Like when did you first like start drawing?
I think
when
a
did that
lot of
become
people
a thing
like
for
my
you?
age. I drew a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been drawing since, God, I mean, literally ever since I can remember. I just didn't know about animation stuff, or I knew I wanted to be like a animator or make cartoons. It's just I didn't have internet till I was like 18 or 19, so I was way behind on everything, and everything animation related was purely television, based and shit. So, yeah, I mean, I had been drawing forever. I just really didn't know what to do with it exactly until I went to college.
Until you went to college. So
Yeah.
before that, you were just doing like fan like drawings of Goku, I guess.
Yeah, for like 18 years, it was just nothing but Goku. No, it was like I mean, I don't know, just like a progression of shit. Your friends are into stuff. You have older friends. He's like, we're gonna go to Barnes and Noble. We're gonna look at the manga section. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna follow along and do whatever. And I think that like it's just like you're inspired by what other people are inspired around you, especially your buddies. So like manga and shit was really inspiring, which I don't give a fuck about anime now or anything, but it's just I think just a natural progression point from like doing that and then like finding out what like Todd McFarlane's work was and like falling in love with like Spawn, and then from there like R-Crumb, all sorts of shit. It's just so I think it was just start off with that, but always like weird fleshy teeth, like fat rolls, all sorts of stuff. I really enjoy drawing that stuff. It's fun.
So wait, hold on. Did when you first started drawing stuff, was it was all normal and then eventually like progressed into like grotesque renditions of everything? Like,
Yeah, I would say so. Like
why?
I just
Because you got inspired by that
I
stuff.
found it was more and more fun to draw just the really gross shit. I just like, especially like small teeth and gums and shit. I don't know why. It's so satisfying
It's very
to
cathartic.
draw for some reason for me. So I lean really heavily into that. But yeah, definitely found some kind of love for that, and just it's also fun because it's like, you don't have to make anything look cool. You just can it's so easy to make things look so fucked. And it's just fun. So I just I don't know.
Did you ever show your parents like a drawing you made that was like all fucked, and they're like, oh, that's nice.
That's something.
Oh yes, but I have like the most supportive mother on earth. Like even today I released that Minecraft cartoon, and it's about like a 16-year-old Minecraft kid. She has no idea about, and I get a fucking text this morning. She's just like, "I'm just so proud. It's just so good. It's so good. I looked him up last night, and it looks so good."
It's lovely.
So
And meanwhile he's being crucified and strung up on a cross. She's like, that's just wonderful.
That's beautiful. I had
And-
tears in my eyes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is weird because a lot of people don't understand the amount of work that goes into animation. So for your mom to be the one that's like, yeah, you put in a lot of fucking work on this, and I'm proud of you. That's pretty deep. I mean, because you're not gonna get that from the general populace at all.
No.
The YouTube
Ever.
comments, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, the amount of people that still don't understand, like, how animation works and stuff is pretty crazy. Even, like, with the more economical approach that I take with a lot of my stuff, I don't do highly ambitious, like, crazy animated things. I mean, luckily now, as money's starting to come in, I can hire more friends of mine, and we can make, more polished and better-looking stuff, but, it's just time-consuming. It's fucking tedious. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it and shit, and I think that, even just from streams that I do or something, the amount of people that come in and like, this is boring. I didn't know this is what this was.
You're just drawing a line over and over again for 50.
Yeah, what do you mean you have to draw the same thing 70,000 times?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They got no appreciation for it. Wow, this man literally sits in one spot and draws the same thing 700 times within the span of 3 hours.
Yeah, he's perched up like a gargoyle. He has scoliosis and a fucking weird hump on his back. What a good guy.
What a good... Can't wait to support this hunchback.
Yeah, what's that fucking lame chair that has a net on it? It's a Herman Miller. It's ergonomic. Yeah, you should get a racing chair. It's an honest comment I got one time. And I'm like, it's not good for your back, bro. I'm like perched up like a fucking bird. Like I can't do it anymore.
Now you say it's easy to make stuff look grotesque, but you have so many lines going on in your animation that to repeat all those lines. That's like people take a simpler approach sometimes. That way, that's easier to maintain the shapes and whatnot. But your shapes are are all over the place and bulging and sometimes pulsating.
Yeah, that's like one good thing with the puppets and stuff of doing puppet stuff is you can go a little harder on the detail side of it. And like though it is a pain in the ass to like rig it up and like make it. I think it's always like worth it. It's always fun. It's like one thing that I learned from like Don from Flash Gets 2 was you can make something look like it took really, 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 really long to make, even though it's just like a rig, and it looks fluid. So that's always it's always kind of the goal, I guess, with those kind of things for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. How long did this last video take? Just as a quick side question.
We try to get it done in about 8 days.
Oh wow!
So 8 days, and then who all helped you on that? Who are the people that helped you on this one?
We had my buddy Patrick Passaro, SierraSaura, who I know is a Newgrounds.
I love SierraSaura.
Yeah, fantastic. And then Molly Wright for comp, and like lighting and stuff, and then my audio guy Justin Greger, and then Dave Cave draws for the backgrounds. Yeah.
Now, how long would they have taken without them? Do you think?
I mean, it would take 2 weeks or 8 days, but it would just look way shittier, you know. Yeah, no. I mean, I try to maintain an upload schedule just because I know that's just the name of the game on like YouTube and stuff. Of like, I don't have time. I don't have like the luxury of time at all because if that happens, they'll fucking shove you to the side and put somebody else up and stuff. So, it creates good limitations. I think that's one thing I found with doing these animations in such a quick turnaround time is finding, like you set limitations for yourself, and sometimes a lot of creative and fun stuff can come out of the woodworks that way, of like being okay. Well, we're down 2 people. We probably can't do this kind of like mini angles. How do we accomplish this in this amount of time with this amount of assets? And it can usually breed some pretty fun stuff. And yeah.
Limitations make creativity and stuff.
Yeah, I would certainly.
So what does it feel like now working with a whole team compared to when it was like just you back in the day? Like, what does it feel now? Do you feel the weight of responsibility, or do you feel like you're wearing like some type of like management office position coat or something to where you have to be you're like a CEO. When you're a CEO, you can't be shown with your ass out, or you can't be caught slacking. You're not allowed to be caught slacking now. How does that feel compared to when you were just starting off? You were allowed to do whatever the fuck you wanted, and now you got this project schedule.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with the amount of views I get now and stuff, there is like an expectation that I always tell people that are like, oh, I wish I was getting this, or I wish grass is greener type thing. Enjoy the time when you're still trying to find your audience or find the voice that you're trying to have with being like with your creativity, with your art, because I feel like once you get that, you are locked into a certain thing. I love what I do, but there is a certain expectation that occurs from it, and it it can be completely fucked sometimes of being like, like with Monster Lab releasing and stuff, that's not a parody thing. So it's doing well. You know, it's not. You know, it's doing good, but compared to like parody stuff I do, you can just tell that like your audience is there for like a one type of thing. So it's like now you have to kind of slowly poison the well and like introduce them to this new piece of animated content and stuff. And
Yeah.
but it's going good though, man. I mean, I enjoy being a director type deal. I still like, you know, animating on stuff. It was hard at first to I don't know, because you want to be the guy. It's like, oh, he does it all by himself. But you find that you know, there's going to be people that are more talented than you, and there's going to be people that you can use to make your stuff look better. And it's just better to, in my opinion, at least, work on a team and like try to collectively get something done, because then that's just like a little family you got that you're stoked to not only pay and like work with, but then you get to like look back on it and then be like, oh, it was cool working on this with these guys and stuff. And that's how I feel about not only the parodies, but Monster Lab at this point too. So it's nice to like step away from that, I do it all myself, you know, type deal.
Yeah, like an actual, like now you're an actual like animation studio. And I noticed at the end of your Minecraft video, you're like, check out Monster Lab, you fucks. Like, it's not a parody. So just watch it anyway. Give it a fucking try. And I know it's at like 1.8 million views, and like one of your parodies beforehand is at like 7 million. And I don't want to say that's your audience. I just want to say that's just the way that people are, is they're attracted to something they can latch onto like way more familiar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with YouTube.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, like, even like the fucking time we're living in. I mean, it's like Disney and shit too, of like, it's remakes. It's stuff you've seen before, like and that's just what people want. Like people, I feel like they'll hear some new shit and they're like, cool, you know, or whatever. It's like whatever. But and then that is the audience. Is, you know, I make just like fucked shit that people can share with their friends and stuff. And I saw a guy with a piece of my merch in a store near my house, and
oh no,
and I was like, oh, you like. I was like, oh, it's cool, man. I like making it too. He's like, yeah, I like this stuff. I was like, yeah, this is like, I think January 4th, like the day after Monster Lab had aired or something. And I was like, did you check out Monster Lab at all? It was awesome. It's like boasting myself up in the store. And he was like, no, I don't check. I probably won't check it out. I just like the parody stuff. Wow. And that was like and that's what was like, shit.
God damn.
That's what I'm gonna have to. That's
and then you pulled a knife out on him. You're like,
I pulled out a gun and I made him get on his knees and pray to God. No, I just was like, I think I'm gonna have to like sway the game and sway these people who are like so, you know, one note with it. And I think these little bumpers at the end are finding creative ways to like introduce it, because I am proud of what we're doing with that show, and you know, it's just only gonna get better. It's been such an awesome learning experience, but I definitely want to have like, you know, fucking people look at it. So
right, absolutely. I mean, it was kickstarted though to like what, 156,000. So yeah. I mean, it raised the money you wanted for it. So it's something that people wanted to be created into existence. So there's a point to it, like you're making it because it was funded, you know, and it's not so much about like the amount of views that it could get. It's just more about that it was funded to be made, that it's in existence, like that it's something that you've done.
Oh, totally. Yeah, no, man, it's something that like, fuck the networks, fuck subscription services and stuff. It's like meant to be free and to be seen on YouTube and stuff at any given time, which I think is awesome. Like, I think that it's like no restrictions. We can do whatever. I mean, we have this pretty big joke in the series right now where it's not too big of a secret, but it's like, Chris Kyle, the American Sniper, is like a huge pivotal part of it, and like all sorts of stuff, and like just like we are able to approach things because we don't have producers and stuff, and because we can just fucking go for it, which is
freedom.
Awesome. Yeah. And also, I think that it's like kind of the same thing of like, I guess, Has Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss thing. It's just cool to show that like you can tell people like you can do this. Like the path isn't just, oh, well, I guess I should just try to get a show on Adult Swim or get a show on Netflix or something. Like, you can do it yourself, like you and your buddies. It doesn't need to be this big polished thing. You know, you and your friends could collectively get together and make something. It is possible, and there are people who will watch it. So, like, that to me was the exciting thing that, like, as a kid, I would have loved to see that.
Yeah. Snackers, you animate obviously. So when you're animating, what do you think is the future goal for you? Is this the type of thing that you think about? Is like one day you can get together with your friends and make something original that's like being inspired on YouTube, I guess, because when people talk animation, they don't know. Like if you tell your parents, "I want to be an animator," like, "Oh, that's great. Maybe you'll work for Disney someday," or like, they have no they have no grasp on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up being inspired by internet animators, you know, like Newgrounder people and stuff, you know, like Oni and all them. So like, it was always a thing of like I really respected all these people who made stuff for free on the internet, you know. And I think this new waves of shows like the Has Been stuff and all that. I think it's great that they're showing you can just make stuff. So I mean, yeah, I don't fucking know, man. It's great. I don't think you should. I think people should be aiming to make their own original stuff on the internet. Any kind of stuff like shorts or, you know, not even series, but like little like shorts that you know, original stuff. I don't know. I think it's cool.
And I think the limitations brought to by parodies, because you have to stay inside that one realm. I guess you can twist it or fuck it as much as you want, but at the same time you're dealing with the same characters, and it's kind of obvious in its own point. But when you're making something original, the ideas can just flow. Like
I like seeing,
you got your team.
I like seeing people's personalities and like visions and stuff in their own work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think like it's something fun too of being able to tell a legitimate story. I think is one thing. One thing with Monster Lab that what we're trying to do is not keep it episodic and tell it's like going to be a series long arc, which to me was like just a fun thing that I was like, it was just challenging, and I think that was like a goal of mine as well. And it is, you know, it is awesome. I love seeing what people want to like actually make or what's going on in their head, and there's just some awesome fucking stuff out there always.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why it's always, because like everyone has these great ideas, but a lot of them don't come to fruition. It's just putting in the work of animating. So I guess a really basic question, meatcanyon, is how long have you been animating for? For just for a brief reminder to everyone here.
Man, since like 2013. I think it's the second year of college, sophomore year of my college. Yeah. 2013.
What was the first thing you ever animated? Was it Goku being grotesque? Like
I
beating
wish.
his wife or
no.
something?
It was I think the first thing I ever animated was in Photoshop animation, because my school was trying to push that because it was like artsy and shit. And I want to say it was an alien putting a beacon in this guy's ass or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was something like that. It was really terrible. I wish I had the video file because I'd love to post it, because I remember like it's one of those things when it's like it looks so terribly bad that it's like almost aesthetically awesome. You know, like it's one of those things. And just the movement and stuff, it's just done by somebody who does not understand timing, and like who's like, okay, this is taking a while, let's speed this up. So yeah, that was probably definitely the first thing that I made. Yeah.
Beautiful, shoving something into someone's ass. Classic meatcanyon. Classic meatcanyon.
Never misses.
If you had to become an independent studio, what would you name your independent studio? Would it be Mr. Meat and Friends? Would it be Handmade Meat?
Team Meat.
Tube Meat, or
I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right now I'm trying.
Meat Boy guys. Sorry, go on.
I was there. Like right now, I'm actually, my business name is Canyon of Meat, so I might just, I guess, leave it at that. I think would be the thing.
Canyon.
I'd like to get.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'd like to be like an Adult Swim type thing where I can like help. I can fund people's projects and stuff and create like a fun hub of stuff. Like that would be. That's kind of like, I guess, a goal one of the goals in the future. So setting up the business and stuff, I think Canyon of Meat would probably be the name, just because I guess that's what legally the business is called right now. But
oh damn, I had no
That's a sick
idea.
name.
Let's go work at Canyon of Meat,
Yeah.
guys. I can't
We're
fucking
clocking
wait.
in at
It sounds like
Canyon
I'm
of
gonna go
Meat.
die. Yeah, man. Let's go meet at Canyon of Meat. Okay, that works. I guess you really are in that management position. I mean, you're talking about supporting other animations. What kind of animations do you support these days? What is contemporary animation to you? Like, what is good right now? Is it because right now, obviously, you tapped into the parody market, but what do you enjoy otherwise? Like, what do you enjoy from other creators?
It's a good question. I find that like I've the older I get, the more that I'm my taste, or like I feel like I'm in obscure YouTube realms and stuff. But in terms of animators, I think there's just so much great. Not only just like there's so many different fun facets of like original series, has been, hotel, and stuff. But there's also great like one person I love is Ethereal Snake on YouTube, and he makes beautiful animations. I love Lumpy Touch with the amazing like what you can do with pixel art and stuff is always super inspiring. I love Chutney.
Yeah, Chutney.
Glaze. I think for over a year I've still considered him probably like one of my favorites. I just think he's just the simplicity and like it's just great motion, great animation, memorable characters, great colors, just really everything you would want in a fucking amazing like animator, video maker. Is awesome. And then also I love Pilot Red Sun. He doesn't upload nearly as much, but I still just, his videos are fucking awesome. I think super ahead of the time for what from when he was posting.
So you like good animators, I guess, is to put it bluntly. You like stuff that makes you go, "Wow, holy shit!"
No,
like, this is cool.
I mean, I could give a fuck how talented you are, because that's just one thing too. Is like that's just like if you're starting off and stuff, that's just gonna get better. So it's like, I try to look at the overall, I guess, video concept and what you're trying to do, and also if some of these choices of like rigid animation, like one of my favorites is still, I love Mark M or Sick Animation. I still think it's like the funniest, probably the funniest like animation I still see on the internet. I just love it, but it's so simple. But I know as well that's like a conscious decision by him. So it's like to me, I think it works really well with like the style and the videos he goes for. There's like a beautiful simplicity to it, where if you try to make it look super fluid, I feel like it would lose that kind of like edge. It would lose that kind of like sporadic kind of tone that he always has. So I think it's just whatever. If I see something and it's like awesome and it just feels cohesive and just like figured out, that's where I'm like, damn, that's awesome.
Damn.
Damn, son.
Yeah. Meatcanyon recognizes the vision. He doesn't give a fuck if you're good at it. He just sees what you're going for.
Yeah, you're terrible and I love you.
All right, man. All right. I'll let Chutney know that you still love him and that he should text you later or something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
He has to text me.
What's it like working with Fantishow? What are your ties with Flash Gits? Working with SierraSaura, and then you had Psychic Pebbles was on that Humpty Dumpty animation, whatever. Like, do you have people constantly reaching out to you? And then, like you said, you guys are kind of like a family together. So what's it like working with all these people? Do you ever have time to yourself, or do you guys hang out? Like, what's going on? Do you have in real life friends anymore?
Yeah, well, a little bit. It takes a lot of work, but honestly, yeah, I feel like I've grown so much closer to all the people that I work with. Well, especially, Fantishow or Nathan has become such a. I've worked with that guy for like over a year. Consistently, like constantly on like parody stuff, and now he's full time on Monster Lab, and he's just awesome. It's been such a great friendship that's blossomed out of that, and I fucking love him. I love him to death. He's also just so talented. It's disgusting. Even if it's not like animation, the dude's like. He's always just like, let me show you this piece of technology I have. And you like walk over to his room and there's like a fucking 1988 like German DJ set. And he's like, I'm messing with these modules. And you're like, okay, that's fucking cool, dude. It's awesome. He's just like, he's so talented. SierraSaura is just like, has been a newer addition to like a freelance artist that I work with, but he's awesome. I think that he's going to make some awesome like long form content in the future, but he's also just like, He's one of the few people that has that kind of like that can capture human movement well, which is like the subtlety of like actually moving with like weight, and has that kind of beautiful like sway to it. And he's great too. He's just super fast, great fast worker, which it's awesome.
I like SierraSaura a lot. Their concepts, their animation is normally a simpler style, which is why I was surprised to see that they were working with you at one point, because they have a very like clean, blocky style. I don't know if you've seen their Final Fantasy VII remake animation that they made for that collab on Newgrounds, but they do really well with
scene, right?
being very clean. And then to work with Meatcanyon, who's just tons of lines, lots of stuff going on all the time, lots of fleshy movement. And have you gotten better at movement, by the way, meatcanyon? Because I noticed like for a while it was like this, like drawing people walking wasn't your thing.
No,
Or...
no, just keep them still. They're not going anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I think that. I think I definitely have. I mean, with the amount of videos you make, you're gonna naturally get better. I'm not like a fucking pro or anything, but I think that I understand things just from looking at files and having to do things myself and do these other things. But yeah, back in the day, it was just like, if I did a walk animation, it was gonna be sporadic and it was gonna look fucking awkward, just because it's like, one, I don't want to have to figure out the perspective of this fucking walk cycle. I just don't have the time to do it type deal. So I just, so yeah, I don't know. It was always just like, yeah, they're not going anywhere. Just keep them still. They're hanging out. They're doing good.
I have to draw fucking 30 teeth when they're talking and shit. I'm not moving their legs.
Yeah,
Fuck
no,
that.
I'm going to that was the whole deal too, is like, I'm not very experienced. So I'm going to make the face look very eye-catching. So then you're not really, it's kind of like, I was really inspired by like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and like Metalocalypse, and you're very focused on the character and like the dialogue of what they're saying and their faces and all that kind of stuff. And I think that was like, I'm going to put the viewer's attention on the face. That way, yeah, like the lip syncing and like the teeth and the mouth, and they're more fixated on that versus them like fucking moving around a bunch and doing all sorts of stuff. Because at the end of the day, I guess like, with the context of like stuff that I'm making, I don't really think they need to be jumping around and doing all sorts of shit. I think that they just need to like serve the purpose of like delivering whatever kind of joke or message that I guess I'm trying to get across.
whatever you think is funny. like they're like puppets for your entertainment. Like anything in your path is just for your entertainment.
Yeah. Very selfishly, yes, that is true.
meatcanyon, do you do a lot of voices still, or are you just animating?
Yeah, no, I do I'd say I do like 95%. I mean, like, if I can get a hold of somebody and it's like they have the time to do it and they can deliver it fast enough, always. Yeah, I will always bring people on that I love. Like you brought up Psychic Pebbles earlier. That was great. I've worked with Chris or Oni, and then other internet people like Cumtown, Stav from Cumtown. I don't even know if you guys know that podcast, but I love that podcast. I got
Cumtown.
I got Stav from Cumtown and Monster Lab and just various other people and shit. I love getting voices, especially like of people who do not voice act is usually the best. Like Max Mofo and stuff is awesome. Or like just performances
that was for the Cat in the Hat one, right?
Yeah. He was just a screaming Australian cat in the hat, and it was like 2 hours of recording. It was just like such a fucking pain and like so funny to go through because like it was like 25% of takes and 75% of him like scrolling through and just being like self-conscious. So I've saved those files, and I look back on them a lot because they're really funny. But I think you get a lot of really interesting performances out of people who do not know, like they're more uncomfortable than anything. And I'm like, yep, that's great. And I just take it and run with it. There's a lot of like personality to that.
That's surprising because I thought he did it in one take because it sounded like he was really comfortable with just yelling at two kids as Cat in the Hat and just stealing their shit.
Yeah, no. I think I used a lot of improvised, like when he was getting really frustrated. Like there's that one scene when he's like, I'm going to shove the fish up my cock hole. He was like really upset, and it was like him like revving himself up. So there was a lot of like really great improvised stuff of just pure frustration, I guess, coming out of that. And that was, that was a fun one to do.
He says it weird too. He's like, in my cock hole.
In my cock hole. Yeah. Dirty goddamn Australian tongue.
The Meat Man is up for collaborations. I like that. So you did what? 95% of the voices in Monster Lab. I think Flash Kids Tom does the intro. I'm fairly certain because it sounds like him.
Yeah, definitely. Tom does that. Yeah, and I just do 95% of the voices just because it's just like once again, it's just the turnaround time. It's just so much easier than having to wait. Like you'll send some out and people are like, oh yeah, I'll do the I'll help with it, and then you kind of have to keep poking them, and you're like, hey, can we get this moving along type deal? So it's just easier to just do it myself. the majority of the time.
What's your favorite voice to do?
Probably the low gravelly voice that I'm sure everybody's tired of at this point.
Looking like a double wide surprise.
Yep, that's right.
Gee, that implies like a lot of your southern accent in there, and I feel like you do enjoy just having that possessive southern accent that's just clinged onto you. You like expressing that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess with everything, I just try to make something that I'm stoked to make, So if I can throw that in there at some point, you better fucking believe I'm gonna try at some point type deal.
Nice. So I saw you commented on Hartrup and Oatley on Newgrounds from Bassett Films, and
yes.
it's always inspiring to see you just still hang out with the I don't want to say the little guys because Bassett Films is like really good animator, but it's cool to see you on Newgrounds still just spending time. Like
I try to as much as I can and stuff, and I've tried to limit what I post to being the original stuff as well. But I definitely try to as well. The Bassett Films animation. I mean, I've seen their stuff before, but it was just awesome. I mean, just such especially with no dialogue at all. It was just such a fun, goofy experience. Great character designs. You'll find that a lot too on this website. I try to comment on things where if I'm ever really fucking just having a good time, you're just smiling the whole way through. That's always a good it's always a good example of when you should really show support and stuff as well. So I try to comment and hang out as much as I possibly can, for sure.
Snackers, you got any questions?
No. Remember before this, I was scrambling to write questions and I couldn't think of anything.
Number one co-host, Snackers.
I'm the best.
So much. Thank you so much. What's married life like for you, Meat Canyon? Is it fun? Does she ever regret that she I can't even say that. I can't even put that in a sentence. Is she very supportive? Is basically what I'm asking.
Yes, I have a very supportive wife. Luckily, yes. And I don't know, dude. Married life it's okay. It's I've been dating my wife now I've been married for not only less than a year, but I've known and dated her for around 9. So it's nothing really's changed. It's just you have a wedding ring now and you get better tax benefits. It's about it. I mean, it's cool. She's a trooper. She has I've moved all over the fucking country trying to chase work or doing whatever, and she's always been there. So yeah, she's fucking great, man. It's cool. It's great. I've gotten so fat. I was fat before, but now once you're married, dude, it's fucked. You're done. Pack it up. You're gonna get fat. Even if you're a naturally skinny person, you will have some kind of lump of fat on your body somewhere, and it's going to protrude in some way. And I have this fucking big belly now, and just stretch marks that look like a fucking river map of Missouri. It's crazy. So there's that comfortability.
Truly a god of animation, just turning into one of his animations.
Yeah, I'm sitting here just fat as shit. Somebody's cutting off my left foot, and I'm truly I have ascended to godhood.
Come, learn from me.
Yeah,
learn from me.
Come, sit on my lap. Let me tell you a story.
You're literally just fusing into your chair. You become this entity that just never leaves, just always drawing. I will draw an animation for you, children.
My wife never existed. I'm come, wife. They're we don't know who that is. You're talking to no one. What?
You have one misty eyeball. You're going out of your mind.
I have a glass eye. What? Why? Yeah. But that's the future. That's gonna happen. Hopefully within the next couple of years, I find out that I'm just mentally unstable, and I made up my wife, and that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, all your animations just crayon drawings in the insane asylum.
Yeah.
They took Wabbit season from me, guys. Yeah, okay.
Which
buddy.
I will be bringing that back. I have a fun experiment because the Space Jam movie's coming. And and it's going to be the laziest thing ever, but I think it could be funny.
Wait, are you allowed to? I thought they took that. They took that from you.
Well, they took that video.
Again?
They took that video, but if I re-uploaded it and I put Bugs in a Space Jam jersey instead of LeBron James, and instead of Bugs' dad, it's Michael Jordan, I feel like I could get away with it. And then I'm just gonna make like a fuck Warner Brothers deal at the end. But I feel like the opportunity is there. I have to. Like I'm like it's gonna happen.
I know you had a little bit of regret, like not fighting it as hard as you could have, like in the past. I guess when they initially took it.
Regret, as in I'm regretful that I was ignorant of what I should have done. Of like whenever I got that copyright claim, I should have contacted a lawyer. I should have taken it more seriously in the moment because that video was really big for my channel, and I actually just love that video. It's fun, but at the same time, I didn't want to be one of those YouTubers where it was like, or even a video maker where it's like, oh, you know, I'm going to make a video afterwards bitching, complaining about, you know, oh, the copyright system is this or that. To me, I was like, what fucking done is done. Let's move on. You know, so that's why I did like the funeral afterwards. And I'm like, if they want to say that they legally own the fucking Bugs Bunny rapist character, then they have them type deal. Like you can have them type deal. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean,
you never know. They might put that in the Space Jam movie now.
God,
you know?
what I wouldn't give, what I wouldn't give to have that happen. Especially if LeBron James walks into the locker room, he's cold basketball. He's like, "Damn, Bugs, you played one hell of a game out there," and it's just like literally they take this like a really compressed sound clip of like my tune and put it into the movie. Like, does not sound good at all. Man, what a beautiful moment that'd be.
They're like, we own this. We gotta use it. I mean, we gotta put it somewhere.
People are talking. We gotta use it. Yeah.
Whatever. I guess it worked in your favor because then.
Dude,
you got to
I
pay tribute.
Honestly, it was coincidentally enough. Like though I think it could have been like massively huge. I think like by the time that it was really picking up and like, especially like TikTok had taken hold of the sound clip and stuff, I think it was like 8 million views, and that was like pretty early on. So I was like, it probably could have gone pretty far. But I mean, at this point now, if I make anything, people are like, oh, remember if they copyright claim this, it's canon and shit. So it's like I have that fun meme on my channel now. So it's. I think in the end, it worked out to be something that's actually beneficial in the long run and shit. So,
I will have to say it would be funny when you make the second one, which I hope you're serious about. Cause
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm gonna use literally the same audio I used for the first one. I'm gonna use the same audio I used for the first one, and I'm just gonna re-record for LeBron and for. Bugs' dad, since it's gonna be Michael Jordan, so I'll just do that. Maybe I'll have like Porky Pig jacking off in the background or something like that. I'll have all the characters in there. The whole gang will be there, fisting, fucking, and sucking, all sorts of stuff. It'll be great.
Oh my god, this is better than original. It's very nice. I would just like to see a rendition of LeBron James and Michael Jordan. To be honest,
I was gonna do this LeBron James Airbud thing. I was watching The Thing a lot. My favorite movie is The Thing. And I like.
Oh my god, me too. John Carpenter's The Thing, the original one.
Yes.
I own that on Blu-ray. I could watch that any day of the fact they don't use CGI and they just make like their own props.
Oh, it's the best. Did you know that the guy who did the practical effects on that was like 22?
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's insane. It's like
Jesus.
He was 22, and I think he had a form of like I don't think it was stomach cancer, but he was like horribly sick the whole time, and he like still made like the greatest fucking practical effects ever. It's awesome.
That's amazing.
All these puppets and shit. It's crazy. You should look it up. It's awesome. But I was wanting to do this thing with Airbud where Airbud is like all like hyperventilating and shit, and it's kind of just like this morbid Lovecraftian Eldritch monster, and then LeBron James steps out of Airbud, and that's how he has his basketball powers. And he like offers his kid a Sprite cranberry, but I never made it. Maybe in the future, but I never made that one. Yeah,
I think Airbud being a Lovecraftian morph of just like tentacles or like whatever you want to make him, just Airbud. That would be pretty funny. So I would love to see that. I don't know about LeBron James walking out of it, but hey, man, you're the one that makes the tunes. You got the vision. So.
I don't know. It always sounds really stupid at first, and then usually when you see it, you're like, okay. I mean, that makes sense.
Not bad. Not bad. So they put me in coach, and it's Airbud. I don't know. It's just on the bench. Like, that's a mascot. Like, oh, Meat Canyon, you're so good at your own format. I wouldn't even know how to make something as cringe as you do. That's the
fine line.
Formula.
It's a fine line between being it's a fine line between being like totally fucked up to where you're just like, well, that didn't need to be said, to where it's also like you probably could have gone farther with it. It's a very fine line between like being totally fucking cringy and just being like torture porn type deal. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a tightrope. You know, what do you do?
Yeah, and then knowing that your mom's gonna watch it and also
I don't give
support
a fuck.
it.
That bitch can watch whatever she wants. You know, I'm not telling her that she needs to watch my stuff. You know, I mean, like, let me be, woman. Damn.
Leave me alone.
Jesus Christ.
I need to like start pushing the boundaries though. Maybe I should just start animating porn or like directing porn and being like, "Did you watch the new video on the hub?" Like, yeah, it was the climax scene was great. I like how I'm making my mother also sound like she's like 87 years old. She's this old woman, so innocent. Yeah.
Don't all of our moms just sound like really old to us anyway? Isn't that how we always make them out to be? Like, don't forget to tie your shoelaces. Like, okay, mom, like fuck you.
I like how your mom sounds exactly like Ray Romano. Like Ray Romano.
Don't forget to tie your shoelaces there, boy. It's exactly what my mom sounds like. It's a problem, actually. I don't know how I was conceived when she sounded like that, but it's.
I wish my wife sounded like Ray Romano. That'd be
no, you don't.
Yeah. Put it in. Same deal. That would be good. I don't even know what I would do with myself. That'd be fantastic.
I do. Oh man. All right, man. Well, you got a lot on your plate. What do you do in your spare time? Music, shows. Like, what do you watch? Everyone does have an impression of me, by the way. Thank you for that. I'm just Ray Romano, I guess.
Well, at least you went a little higher in the voice, and it sounded like Ray Romano to me, just a little bit. It's just, and then, like, literally, Ray Romano is just Kermit the Frog, so it's just like, you know, you're in that kind of realm, being kind of like that, you know. My free time. I mean, I listen to a lot of music. I'm inspired by a lot of music. I watch a lot of horror films, so I just watch a lot of movies, listen to a lot of music, and then. I like to sculpt a lot.
You like to sculpt?
Yeah, I like different kinds. Like I made this like demonic like wizard hand, and that's like my Cintiq pen holder now. I mean, like you put it in the deal. So I try to think of like little ways to do that kind of shit.
Wait, do we have a picture of that somewhere?
I could probably upload it somewhere. Yeah, I could take.
Have you never uploaded that? That sounds so cool.
It's like it was being I just painted it, so I'm trying to see if I have an older one of it. But it's like I sent it off to be fired at the moment, so it's all glazed and fun and colorful, sheen looking, you know.
Sheen.
And you put like a little like rubber tip in it, so it doesn't scratch the Wacom pen or anything. But yeah, just a little shit like that. Like really, I just like making stuff as much as I can and watching cool shit and eating and drinking and sleeping. Those are the big things.
Awesome. Well, I see where the gut comes from, bro.
Yeah. Being an alcoholic and eating really unhealthy food and sleeping obnoxious amounts of time during the day is always a must-have.
We all got a little bit of Meat Canyon inside us. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying. God. Okay, well, you got that hobby. Any other hobbies that you got going on? Because I'm surprised you have time for anything. I feel like I repeat that a lot, but it's just busy people. Like you listen to podcasts too. You watch horror films. You do the sculpting. I mean, what don't you do, bro? What are things that you hate? What don't you like to do? What does Meat Canyon hate?
What do I hate? What do I hate? I'm not sure.
Puppies. You hate walks on the beach. You hate
walks on the beach aren't actually as bad. If anything, it's more of a workout than you think. Stepping through sand is fucked. What a fucking. They always try to make it some romantic thing. They don't ever show how like awkward and clunky fucking beaches are. Like we're going out there. You're doing like high knees the whole fucking time, trying to like trudge through this sand. I'm
in a full sweat by the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. By the time I get to the beach to appreciate it, I can't tell if it's like the ocean waves, the ocean breeze, or if it's just like literally my sweat that I just caked all over. So it's always a good time. I'm not really sure what I don't inherently like. I really don't like playing video games for a long time. I like watching people play, which is odd too because I'm not like a huge Twitch person either. So I don't know. I like if somebody's playing a game, like I'm in the same room as them, I'll watch them. But like I don't like playing games really.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Not a gamer.
I love my PS2. I still have a PS2.
Yeah, that's the best console.
So which is odd because I'll be like, hey, you want to come over and play games sometimes? And my buddy's like, yeah, sure. And like I think they expect to play like, new age, like PS4, PS5 type shit, and like go in and I'm like, yeah, I'm like about halfway through God of War 2 right now. It's awesome. Like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, oh, I can pop this out and we can play NBA Street. You want to play NBA Street? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. So I find
you're right at parties, bro. Jesus.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm just shit faced being like, who wants to play Street? I'm like yelling out into the crowd. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't complain about a lot of things. I feel like I try to give everything a little bit of a chance, but yeah, maybe just exercising and playing video games are just two things that I'm just like, just where's the time? Where's the time to do it? You never.
Where's the time?
Yeah.
Where is the time? Where does it go?
It's fleeting.
I don't know,
every
man.
second.
All right, you know what, man?
Let's
Let's talk about your wife's hobbies. What's she do? What's she do for fun?
My wife is very into like not only gardening, but she's like into like animals. So like she takes care of like horses and stuff. And it's like I live in Dr. Doolittle's house. I have like so many animals in my house, and like she's just really into that shit and painting. She's a great painter, and yeah, I mean just like various subjects of that, hiking, all that kind of jazz.
And how'd you guys meet? Did you pass her notes in class one day or something?
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did in college, which was apparently unacceptable. I was like, read it, open it. No, we lived on the same dorm floor in freshman year of college, and we just became really, really good friends. And then, just from there, just blossomed into a relationship, and here we are. Now
right. You drew her face one time.
I drew her face photorealistically, and it just said, "I'm watching you." She's like, "What?" And that was, it was really fun. It was really cute like that.
Jesus, man. I have a random question. I have a friend. His name is Jacob. He's on jacob.newgrounds.com. He added you on Facebook one time, and it was like you guys were in the same city. It was when you were going to like animation school or whatever. And then it was like before you blew up or something. He's like, "Hey man, want to hang out?" And then you blocked him. You completely ghosted him. And he's like, "I don't know what happened. I don't know if I did something wrong. I don't know."
Oh, I deleted my Facebook. Is probably what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I would have no reason. That's how I met Fantishow, was on that type of shit. No, I would have no reason to block jacob.newgrounds.com or whatever the fuck the URL was. I deleted my Facebook just because I found that I kept getting emails, all sorts of shit. I just didn't like it. And also, like, I never used Facebook, so I just ended up deleting it.
Just done with it. All right. How did you meet Fantishow? That is actually an interesting question. How do you meet the one person you now are like best friends with? You both do animations.
He hit me up on Newgrounds. I think he hit me up on Facebook, but then he also messaged me on Newgrounds. And on Newgrounds, I saw it, and he asked if I was in Kansas City, which at the time I was, and we ended up grabbing like a beer and hot wings. And then I was like, yeah, I mean, if you ever want to like work on something, I mean, it was just like such a fun progression, because I think immediately the next day we started working on 1880, which is like a cowboy series thing I was doing, and it was fun. And yeah, ever since then though too, he's just a fucking madman. He works on like 70,000 things at once and always gets them done in a timely manner. So if there's anybody in chat looking for an animator to hire, I would definitely look for Nathan. He's great. Fantishow.
Yeah. Very wholesome. Very nice. Yeah. Get hot wings with meatcanyon.
I feel are my answers too vague? I feel like I keep answering and it's always this moment of silence and being like, cool. Cool,
no,
dude.
that's the format of this show. So we ask questions.
No, we just suck. Don't worry about that. That's us.
And we're like, yeah, that's cool.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't wasn't being a shitty guest.
A shitty guest. Oh, you're so worried about this little podcast over here. We ain't nothing, man.
Come on.
We ain't doing nothing. We interviewed, I'm not gonna lie, okay, we interviewed Boom Kitty. I know, big name. We interviewed the Friday Night Funkin' crew,
What?
by the way.
That's a good name.
So they're looking for art, by the way. So Meat Canyon, if you ever want to be on Friday Night Funkin',
What the
let us
fuck
know.
is Friday Night
Friday Night
Funkin'?
Fucking.
What is that?
Oh, you've never heard of it? Oh, you don't really video game. I know. Who else did we interview? We haven't got Tom Falp on here. He keeps ghosting us. I don't know why. I don't know why he does that.
I don't know any of these people.
I don't know any of these people.
I've never talked to Tom face to face. We've exchanged messages and stuff before, but just seems like genuinely one of the not only nicest men but busiest men on earth. So,
it's honestly appalling how much time he has, because sometimes I'll tweet something and he'll like it, or I'll send him a PM. I'll get a response in like 5 minutes, and he's always on top of shit. And anyone who's ever messaged him, they're like, yeah, I don't know why, but he messages back, and he had time for little old me to have a conversation.
Amazing,
so
dude.
it's honestly disgusting how much time Tom has on his hands for hanging out with his community.
I think he just legitimately, that's the great thing. You see that because he obviously cares. He's just such a person that just wants to see people grow and be their own thing, which is awesome. And he's just a fucking great guy.
You sent him the Ronald McDonald stickers in the mail, and I know he appreciated that way back.
When
that animation came out.
He's a part of my Patreon stuff, and I sent him all sorts. I sent him shit, and he fucking Newgrounds helped kickstart the Monster Lab thing. I mean, he's just been very, very good to me. I'm always very grateful for that man, and even just this website and stuff, this community. Regardless if you hate me or not, I love you.
Why would they hate you? Big Cat, you're awesome, man. I remember the first animation I saw from you was that Pinocchio one, and I was blown. It was before I even understood who you were, and I was like blown away by it. Way back when that came out. The one, was it?
Yeah, that was I remember. This is actually kind of a funny story. I remember it was like the beginning of August of 2019. I had released that cartoon maybe a month before. I was like, just uploading shit to Newgrounds and to like YouTube, but like mostly like Instagram was my main focus because I was growing the most there. But I remember I woke up one day and the night before I had 700 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I woke up and I had 32,000, and I was like, what? Like, what happened? And apparently that Pinocchio video went all over Reddit, and then from there that was the literal initial start to the growth of the channel and stuff, and just being like capitalizing on that and always putting the pedal to the floor type deal and just like going and not like taking any breaks, fucking just like pushing, making stuff, and just trying to capitalize on it. And luckily, it just worked out for me.
And now you're a staple in the community. Now you are the Meat Canyon.
Now I am the Meat Canyon.
Before
I wasn't, but now I am.
But now I am. All right. Meat Canyon brand. Meat Canyon brand chapstick. We're gonna call it Meat Canyon chap lips. We'll call
Chap
it
meat.
Meat Canyon. Meat Canyon shakes. Meat Canyon shakes.
Meat Canyon gyrates. Meat Canyon. he jiggles. Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
That's his one function.
Butterman.
Butterman. What did happen?
That was such a spur of the moment meme. We never made anything of it. I didn't really hear from those guys again, so nothing really came of it. I wanted to make something.
I think
of it,
they were still trying to get a collab running for a while. I think.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
Butterman.
Yeah, but I don't think it came out.
Oh yeah. Goodell, by the way, he says he was a host on ACOC. He says he's happy for you. By the way.
Oh well, good. Yeah, I really appreciate this podcast earlier on and all that stuff. It was just always fun. I always just like doing this kind of shit. It's fun. I really enjoy it. But it was cool for them to reach out.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah, I do. I wouldn't say
all right.
I wouldn't say yes to go chatting with fun people if I didn't, like it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, man.
What's your What's your opinion on this podcast then? Tell me,
Would
Meatcanyon.
you give it out of 10?
Yeah, nice little people. You got people stay tuned, sitting there. They're hanging out. They're chatting in the chat. It's a good time, man. I enjoy it. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, they're judging you though. I think someone
all
called you Gordon Freeman earlier.
Yeah, they got your eyes on you, man.
Oh God. I would have been more. I think I would have enjoyed it more if they would have called me Morgan Freeman. But you live with what you get. And here we are. We're recording on a beautiful Sunday. What are you doing?
You know what, Meatcanyon? What's the best advice your dad ever gave you?
Oh God. That's the wrong parent to ask.
I know.
I think the best advice my dad ever gave me was what was exactly what he said. He said something like, "If you're ever gonna have sex with a tiger tail," which was in his words, that's like a prostitute or a whore. He said, "Not only wrap it, but check their credentials." And I never knew what that meant. I have no idea what that means, but it somehow seemed like good advice. He was very drunk when he told me. I do not know. I just remember that was the that was the piece of advice that strung true. So I don't know. Hey, take what you will. Hey, if you're gonna have sex with a tiger tail, be sure to check their credentials. There you go.
I'm not even sure what that means.
Don't know.
So
I don't think you're supposed to.
Sir.
Check their credentials.
Check their credentials. It's like, yeah.
What's
where's your resume?
What is your credit score?
What's your social?
Look them up in the yellow book.
Yeah, exactly.
Corey, we're about to wrap this up. Corey, unmute yourself. Can you come on? Corey, can you come on? Corey.
Yeah, what's up?
Voices by Corey.
Corey, do your best Meatcanyon impression.
My best meatcanyon impression.
Yeah, your best Meatcanyon impression. Go.
He's a. You can't impersonate the voice. It's just so amazing.
You can do it.
Corey, you mimic me all the time. Do your best Meatcanyon.
Well, yeah, because you're easy to mimic, man.
You fucking ass. Do a gruff Southern accent.
A gruff Southern accent. Yeah, you got it.
That's perfect.
Well, all right.
My name is
Is
Meatcanyon, and I am a badass.
Okay. Okay.
He said you
All right,
had
bro.
me
I
till he said that.
need you to fucking add in that little paprika. Damn.
Corey, do your best monster impression. You're a monster you just created. You came out of a fucking time warp or a printer. You just came out. Do it now. Go. You're grotesque. No, yeah, you actually fine. We can, yeah, go ahead. And then Corey.
What's the creature? What's the deal?
What's he do?
What does he look like?
He looks like a mailman, so he's got like 80 hands coming out of his chest, except they're all broken and
He
snapped.
shits
so
out
it's like
letters.
really painful. Yeah, and he shits out letters.
Was that good? If he just screamed in pain the whole time because he has 80 broken hands. Can you imagine the amount of mental torture that 80 broken hands would be?
Yeah.
The ideal mailman, I think 2 hands is plenty for a male person. I don't know exactly. I don't know what kind of fucking like utopian future you're living in where you're just like the use of 80 hands at one time. Like, what kind of fucking mailbox system is this?
You can.
It's a top of the line system.
Oh my god.
I got a perfect voice for this grotesque character, though.
All right, do it, Corey.
Go.
Hi, my name is Zen. I have 80 arms and I.
Oh my fucking god, Corey! This is the biggest mistake of your life.
Sounds like a priest.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of utopia future needs something with 80 hands, but I thought it'd be funny if your mailman just walked up, he's got 80 fucking grotesque ass fucking.
Yeah, I don't know. I got pieces of mail for you
today.
No, you sound like fucking Fat Albert.
Yeah, that was probably a very racist depiction of what a Bill Cosby character would be like.
Yeah, that was more
Well,
like
that's fantastic.
a creepy Kermit impression.
He could probably sound kind of high pitched or so. I imagine he just doesn't even say words. He's just like. He puts up letters and shit. And that's what his whole deal is.
Oh my god!
But he eats postcards. He never delivers postcards. He just eats them.
He just eats it. He licks all your stamps for you, though. Oh,
Yeah.
That's what the 80 hands are for. He licks stamps.
tasty.
He's got them on demand. And I feel like the trope in that is nice because instead of being happy that the mail's coming, you are fearing for your life
Yeah, it's
every
like
time the mail is coming.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those Western movies where like the whole town shuts their shutters and stuff. When somebody comes in, that's what they do whenever the mailman comes. They'll board up and they lock their doors and shut the windows.
And you're right. He doesn't even talk. He's just
barks and shit. Yeah, fucking painful.
But he has a formal. He has a formal education. You have to have at least a GED to be a mailman. So at least
Study law.
Is that? Well, I think that's probably it. I noticed because obviously I do research because I'm a big dummy. I listened to your last podcast on Cream Crew.
Yeah.
The cream of the crop.
Cream Crew, dude. Come on. It's a promotional shill. It's Cream Crew.
I listened to it's Cream Crew.
Come on, man.
You just got punked by Cream Crew. All right. I noticed you're like I just kind of want to sit down and watch an anime that has a good story. I think after talking with you today, I don't think you were serious. I don't think you're actually gonna sit down and watch a.
We tried. That was a legitimate thing because there's one thing I've seen as well is the amount of people I've seen they'll say some weird underground anime I've never fucking heard of and they're like, oh, it's just a great story. But anime to me is just, well, it's with everything, right? Everything has a strong taste. Like I said in that episode, it's like I love horror films, love them. I could watch. They have the same distinct flavor. If you've seen a slasher horror film, you've seen them all. Type deal.
Yeah.
But like with anime, it's just exposition and it's just like fucking bullshit. It's just terrible. I mean, I hate it. I hate anime so fucking much. So my deal was I was like, I really want to find one where I'm like, I watch it, I'm like, oh, good. This is good. Yeah. And we watched Evangelion, which was like the animation was really cool and the aesthetic of it was great. It just reminded me of Gundam, but like it was definitely watchable, you know. But we watched this new one. People were like, "You gotta watch Demon Slayer," and it was so fucking bad. I was cackling. I was fucking like, "What?" Like I was like yelling at my screen watching it, and my wife came in, and she was just like, "What is going on here?" I'm like, "This fucking show, it's terrible. What is it?" Like I was like, it's just so bad. It was just so bad. So if you like that show, come on.
I love that show. I love that show. I love that fucking show. Okay, I love that show. But I think it's funny. Meat Canyon. I think it's funny that you're Southern and you don't understand anime and you're screaming at your screen. You're like, what is this?
This is what Demon Slayer was. This is what Demon Slayer was to me in a very quick deal. We start off with a character who's apparently supposed to be liked. You get to know his family for 35 seconds.
Yes.
Hey, all right, guys, I love you. All right, well, have fun selling charcoal. He goes into town. There's 3 people that interact with him. Oh, hey, can you solve our problems? Doesn't come back to fruition at all. He's walking outside of the town with an empty sack. He's like, I was planning on going out to the woods and selling some more charcoal. And a guy leans out his window. He's like, hey, you might not want to go out there. There's demons. They could eat you. And he's like, what? And I'm like, in this universe where demons exist, this is the first this child is hearing of demons. He's like, yeah, you don't want to go out to there. There's demons. You just come inside and have some dinner and go to bed. So he actually goes inside. He goes inside the fucking thing, has dinner. He's like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Thank God we have this thing called demon slayers that keep these demons in check, huh? He's like, yeah, I guess. Type deal. And immediately, the next day, he's like, well, I can't wait to go home. I'm sure my family is nice and safe. I'm like, oh, well, that's a fucking good sign, for God's sakes. Comes back, his fucking family's just fucking raped and murdered, blood all over the place. He's like, oh, my God. He touches his sister, and he says this, which I laughed so hard. He touched his sister. He's like, she's still warm. Everyone she's still covered in blood. She's still warm. He picks her up and throws her. He's like, you're my sister. Exposition part. You're my sister and you're dying. I have to go into this town, but I hope I make it. I'm a fast young sprite, but you're my sister and you're alive. And then, then the demons. It's just, it was too much. It was too much. I could go into I just can't.
I feel like I've seen the first episode now. That was a good recap.
Gotta do a fucking series where it's just you recapping anime that you watch. Because I've never heard anyone describe Demon Slayer like that.
But is it true?
Did they actually deliver the lines that way?
If they deliver the lines that way, it would be awesome. If the guy opened the shutters and leaned out and he was like, "Hey, you don't actually go out there. There's demons." That would be awesome. But instead, of course, it's like anime, so it's just like it's very scary out there. And he's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm gonna sell some charcoal."
Yeah, but be careful because there's demons, and maybe just come in here. I have a story to tell you.
And he shuts the shutters.
And some old man too. He's like, "Come in my house.
Yeah,
There's demons out there."
I could have swore it was going to lead to him getting like sexually molested or something like that.
Why don't you come on inside? I have a bath drawn.
He like shuts the shutters.
God,
I've been running the tap for you. It's nice and warm in there.
Can we get a recap of Evangelion from you then? Is that okay? Do you got time for that?
Evangelion was like okay. It was just still kind of the same. It was just like a kid. It doesn't do the exposition. Someone said exposition is good, but anime takes it overboard. I guess exposition's good, but the thing is I have eyes and I'm seeing these things happen, so I don't need you to tell me that it's happening. That's like the big thing with Demon Slayer was just like, I can't believe it. He has a sword. It's like, I see the sword, dude. I see it. I don't need you to tell me that there's a sword there. Evangelion was cool. I mean, it was like the only thing with Evangelion, the first episode that I could was like, okay, dude, was I guess the dynamic between the son and the dad. It was very stereotypical, but I mean, it's whatever. To me, it was just, I mean, it was fine. It was just, I guess there's a part where it's like, oh, I haven't seen my dad in a long time. It's going to be really, oh, God.
He's just like, my boy's here. Here we go.
And then he's like, goes downstairs, and there's the fucking giant robot. Has people seen this, by the way? Am I just...
Yeah. I've seen this.
So yeah, it's like in this giant fucking pot of Kool-Aid, this cool, like, fucking cooling system, and it's like this, like, cherry Kool-Aid it's sitting in. He's just like, release it! And they, like, release it down, and then the fucking kid's like, I can't pilot it. I'm too afraid. I can't do it.
He's just like, I'm a billionaire scientist, and I know that my son will, like, spiritually connect to this being.
And he like immediately he like protects. Yeah, it's just it was fine. It was just like that kind of little trope. And he's like, what? I can't believe I'm so meek, and I can't believe that happened. Type deal. So it was. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was fine. I would probably watch more in the future, but I don't think I would actively go out and watch it. But that's just because I don't really care for anime. And that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's his story, and he's sticking to it, folks. All right. I don't want to take up any more of your time, really. Corey, you got any questions for Papa Meat?
What can we expect from you in the future? I know we got more Monster Lab coming, but that's like I don't know what else is coming. What can we expect?
I'm producing a horror film at the moment.
Oh.
Potentially,
no, you're not. Wait, live action? What?
Yeah, potentially a live action horror film. It's a short horror film. It's 20 minutes long, but that's like been a passion of mine for a while, and I'd really like to dive deeper and deeper into that. It's something where you're like, yeah, I'd like to do that, and then you start to like sit down and make it, and it's like it's just way harder, So it makes your criticisms of like movies. Well, I mean, movies are still like horror movies can still be terrible, but the decisions and the execution of these things are a lot harder than you would think. But yeah. Horror films definitely in the future, and more comedy skits. I'd like to do obviously more Monster Lab even after season 1. I'd like to see if we can't kickstart that again and see, because I'm having so much fun making that show. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Me and the Flash Gets guys are doing Cream Crew, and we're going to be doing more stuff with that. They had that great series on YouTube called Show Quest, which was like an awesome, like behind the scenes of like what it takes to make a show. And I think we're going to try to do something like that, except not as serious. And, I'm going to be involved. So it makes Tom and Don look way better because they're insufferable. Yeah. We can, and, yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but it's,
Wait, Meatcanyon, you still got a mullet, right? Or
yes.
What?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay. That's why.
It's iconic now.
That's the only thing people say. I like your mullet. I'm like, I feel like if you're ever an overweight person, just grow yourself a nice mullet. if you're ever out of shape, just feel free to grow that mullet out. Let that speak for yourself, huh?
Yeah.
You don't need to have it, yeah.
They understand who you are as a person once the mullet comes out.
Yeah.
And, but by the way, when you said someone was wearing a shirt of yours at the store that was near you, I thought the story was gonna end with like them following you home or something.
No, creepy. I don't ever tell them that that it's like me. I don't have that face value type deal, so I can luckily just do that. My mom, though, that stupid bitch, she sits there and she'll be like, she has like a Meat Canyon sticker on her phone, and there'll be people that come up like, oh, you like Meat Canyon? She's like, oh, yeah, it's my son. I'm like, why don't you just have a sign that says, I want to get gang raped? Like, why don't you like just make a sign that's just like, I want to be murdered. Please follow me home type deal. She's like, I don't think that happened. I'm like, that's the kind of mentality that old people have. That never happens. It's like, that's what happened with the Zodiac Killer, and then here we are.
The Meat Canyon Killer.
Yeah, the meat
Killer. Wait, hold on. That has a really good ring to it, Snackers.
Why? Don't quote me on that.
The Meat Canyon Killer. Oh, let's not propagate that any further. No. Do you get weird emails? Like, do you get weird emails, Meat Canyon?
I get a lot of hate emails. I get a lot of people telling me. There was like one person, because when I lived in Kansas City, there was a guy who told me that he knew that he saw me at a store or something like that, and he's like, I didn't trail you home, but I kind of know where you live. I was like, all right. I was like, all right, dude. I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
Why?
That is just a weird statement. That was it? That was the end of the conversation?
Yeah, well, that was the email. And he just said, I don't know exactly where you live, but I kind of know where you live. And it was like the end of the email. And I'm like, that feels like a threat. I feel like I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information type deal.
What do I do? Do I move? Do I, I got like 20 animals in this house. I can't just move them at once. What is it?
Yeah, exactly. I need to have a trailer or some shit. Bring them all in.
Damn. Yeah, I guess that's it. Let's close the old chapter on the Meat Canyon. We can see some live action from him in the future. It's almost like doing all these parodies kind of makes him want to put out a bunch of original shit now, because I guess like any good animator, you do. Well, I guess you always do what you want, but at some point when you have to cater to a certain audience, you want to do your own shit eventually. I mean, you can't just be professional all the time and just on a schedule. You kind of want to do your own shit.
Yeah, I think that also the parodies are just a good way. That just helped me build my audience, so now I'm in a position to where I can branch out and do some new shit and everything.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's always a fun time, but yeah, definitely the parodies help build the audience.
And then you don't have to worry about being Meat Canyon's fan, because his mom is super supportive of him, and there's no way you'll replace her.
Feel free to not even be a fan at all. My mom has it covered. I don't need you coming in trying to support or watch anything I'm doing. You can just go ahead and skip that. Mom's got it taken care of.
What else we got here? If you're with the woman of the night, make sure you wrap it and check your credentials.
Check the credentials.
Okay?
There you go. Be sure to do that.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank
little
you,
tiger
everyone.
tail.
Thank you. A little tiger tail in the night. No one knows what to do, but Meat Canyon's dead. He's there for you. All right, Snackers, thank you for being a co-host.
No problem.
Corey, thank you for joining in. And Meat Canyon, thank you for spending the time with this little motley crew we got going on over here.
Man, I appreciate you wanting to reach out and talk to me. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. If you ever want to recap anime,
that shit was hilarious. Man. I want to hear more of that.
That was the funniest shit I ever fucking heard. So you definitely have a place for it. I can't wait to see what else you come out with in the future, and then maybe we'll have you on again in like a year and a half when you have your own studio. Well, I mean, you already have your own studio. When everything that you've wanted comes to fruition, and you can support other animations like you're looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Don't be a stranger. Hit me up whenever.
Hell yeah. All right, Meat Canyon, enjoy your married life. Enjoy your fat belly. This is the Newgrounds podcast, and we're signing off. See you guys later.
Good night, folks.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Newgrounds podcast. This show is recorded live on our Discord server. Join us at bit.ly/NGP Discord. For the latest news, follow us on Twitter at the NG Podcast. Thank you to Waterflame for the use of his song, Gabberfly. Goodbye.